I'm recording this, just in case something happens to me. If you're listening to this, it means I'm probably gone, or maybe I've just lost my mind. I used to think silence was the scariest thing in the world. I was wrong. What's scarier than silence is when that silence is broken by the voice of someone you love when they shouldn't be there. It began 3 nights ago. I live in an apartment complex on the outskirts of the city, an old building, thin walls. My girlfriend, she was away on a business trip a few towns over. I was alone in a room that felt too big without her. It was pouring rain that night. I was lying in bed, scrolling through my phone, around 1:15 a.m. Suddenly, the screen lit up. A new text message from her. It read, "Are you asleep?" I smiled. I thought she was lonely, or maybe she couldn't sleep at the hotel. I typed back, "Not yet. Miss me?" Read receipt. Immediately. And a second later, the reply that wiped my smile off my face. "I'm outside the door. It's cold. Let me in."
I stared at the screen, my brain failing to process. She was supposed to be 300 miles away. She just video called me earlier this evening from her hotel room. Is this a joke? Did she fly back to surprise me? I typed back, my hands turning ice cold. "Stop kidding around. Aren't you at the hotel?" No typing indicator. No pause. The message popped up instantly, like an automated response. "Forgot my key. Open up. It's dark." Her words were strange. My girlfriend usually texts with emojis, stickers, long run-on sentences, but this was curt, cold, like a robot trying to mimic a human. I got out of bed, crept toward the front door. The wooden floor felt freezing against my bare feet. I pressed my ear against the wood. The rain outside had stopped, and in that silence I heard a sound. Not a voice, not a knock, but the sound of nails. Scratch, scratch, scratch. Slow, dragging from the top of the door all the way to the bottom. I held my breath, raised myself on my toes, and looked through the peephole. The hallway was pitch black. The light bulb was out, as usual for this building. But then, the light from a phone screen illuminated a face standing right there, head bowed, directly in front of my door. Long black hair, plastered wet against her cheeks. The same coat my girlfriend wore when she left. Yes, it looked exactly like her. I was about to reach for the lock, relieved, but then the phone in her hand lit up again. Simultaneously, the phone in my hand buzzed. New message. "I see you looking. Why won't you open it?" A chill shot down my spine, because in the second that screen lit up, I saw the eyes of the thing standing there. They weren't human eyes. They were wide, too wide, unblinking, and it was grinning. A smile that stretched impossibly wide, almost to its ears. I scrambled back, falling onto the floor. The scratching got louder, harder. Scratch, scratch, scratch. Not just nails anymore. It sounded like something sharp and angry carving into the wood.
I locked myself in the bathroom until sunrise. When I finally came out, the front door was covered in deep gouges, like a wild animal had tried to get in. I went to the building manager. I demanded to see the CCTV footage. He showed me the file from 1:15 a.m. The screen was grainy, black and white static. But what I saw on that screen made my blood run cold.
There was a woman outside my door, but she wasn't just standing there. She was dancing, twisting her body in ways that shouldn't be possible. Her limbs looked boneless, snapping and rotating silently, like a spider spinning a web around its prey. I pointed at the screen, shouting, "Do you see that? Right there!" The manager looked at me, his eyes empty, confused. He said, "See what? The hallway's empty. It's pitch black. The light is broken. There's nothing there." I saw it clearly. He saw nothing. That was the moment I started to question my own mind. I went back to my room. I tried to act normal, but the feeling of being watched, it didn't leave. It felt like the door hadn't been enough to keep it out. That evening, I went to brush my teeth. I picked up my toothbrush, and then I looked at hers, my girlfriend's toothbrush. It was sitting in the cup next to mine. She had been gone for 3 days. It should have been bone dry. I reached out and touched the bristles, and then they were wet, soaking wet, as if someone had just used it.
Then this evening happened. My girlfriend came home. I heard the key turn in the lock. The door opened. She walked in, smiling. "I'm back," she said. I ran to hug her. I needed to feel her warmth. I needed to know she was real. But when I wrapped my arms around her, I froze. She didn't smell like her perfume or her shampoo. She smelled like earth, like damp, heavy soil after a storm, mixed with the stale air of a basement. And her skin, it was cold, not just air conditioning cold. It was the cold of something that generates no heat of its own. "Why are you so cold?" I asked, pulling away. She looked at me. Her blink was a fraction of a second too slow. "It's just the weather outside," she said. Her voice was smooth, too smooth, perfectly flat. For the rest of the evening, she was perfect. She ate dinner. She watched TV. She laughed at the right moments, but it felt like a performance, like she was remembering how to be my girlfriend rather than being her. And that brings us to right now. 10 minutes ago, we went to bed. She's lying right next to me. Her breathing is steady, rhythmic. I was almost convinced that I was crazy, that the stress had broken me. I was just closing my eyes when the phone on the nightstand, her phone, lit up. A text message. I leaned over to check it, thinking it was her boss or a friend. But when I saw the screen, my heart stopped. The message was sent from her number to her own phone. It read, "It's cold out here. Can I come back inside the body now?" I slowly turned my head to look at the woman sleeping beside me. Only she wasn't sleeping anymore. Her eyes were wide open, staring right at me. No eyelids, just wide white orbs. And she was wearing that same impossibly wide grin. She opened her mouth and a sound came out. Not a voice, but the sound of scratching.